Well, my goodness, it is great to be in my happy place and have an opportunity to talk about my journey with firearms and how um, I got off to a late start. So a lot of these videos regarding firearms or anything like that, um, I started late and I really wanted to put some information out there for folks who, hey, are you over 40? Are you thinking about purchasing a handgun? Why would you purchase a handgun or a pistol? How do you purchase one? How do you pick one out? So I'll have a series of videos covering all those different things. But today, I wanted to talk about how you're going to think it's hyperbole. But I really wanted to talk about how firearms and joining a gun range has kind of changed my life. So some quick background. Born in Charleston, settled. We were in the Navy, moved all around, settled down, went to a local high school and local college, we did not have handguns in the house. I think we had a shotgun that my dad had purchased from somebody, but we never shot it really. And I didn't touch a handgun until I was 58 years old. Had never touched a handgun, had not manipulated it, much less shot it. So I'm at the gun range right now, and you can hear someone shooting. They're shooting suppressed, but you can hear the steel being hit by the bullet. So part of my journey is, I felt really unsafe at a open house I did. Had a beautiful log cabin for sale on acreage, and I was hosting an open house. This was during the pandemic, and you put a bunch of signs out in the neighborhood streets, and we were way out in the boonies. Well, we had some people come to the open house, and I really, for the first time, I started having this feeling of being unsafe. And if something happened to me, what would I do? I'm at the fight with my hands and feet, to fight several people off or whatever. But at that point, a wife or kids, I cannot let myself become an easy target or an easy victim. So at that point, I went out and purchased my first handgun. That was about 3 years ago, maybe next month. And that was pretty cool. It's kind of taken off in the last 3 years. Well, here I am now at 62 now, and so like I said, this channel is really for novices, new to firearms, have questions about firearms. You're over 40, you didn't grow up around them, you don't know people that have them, maybe. But I remember how excited I was to shoot at this indoor gun range near me. And that was so much fun. I was like, oh my gosh, this is just great. And I met a fella a little over 2 years ago, and he told me about this gun club that's like 18 minutes from my house, this outdoor gun club that I'm in now. And, it's got steel to shoot, and steel is so much fun. And I'll have another video about a day at the range kind of thing. But he told me about this cool place right outside of my town I live in, and he sponsored me to join. So I became a member 2 years ago. And so I've started to bring family and friends out here, customers and clients. And then it kind of, maybe a year and a half ago, something kind of clicked. And I kind of realized that as I compare my life and my level of fellowship with other men compared to my wife and other women and their fellowship with other women, I was really lacking. So I did 30 years, or 29 and a half, I'll call it 30 years, in a local school district, and I have graduate school and all the things, part-time jobs, 4 kids, beautiful wife, beautiful home, and I just felt like I needed to focus on work, and that's all I did. I was either at work or at home, and even when I was at home, I was thinking about work. No time for a hobby. My hobby was work and my family and my beautiful daughters, 4 daughters, and my beautiful wife. And that was my life. So really it was 3 years ago that I started this at 59 years of age, got into this unbelievable hobby that has really just changed my life. So getting back to how I use this gun range now, it's not about being aggressive or imagine myself shooting or killing someone. It is this idea of you're so focused on what you're doing when you come out here, so focused on safety that you're really able to block out some of the other things. Now I can't block out a couple of bays down. Some guys are shooting their pistols, so it's going to get loud at times. But it's all part of the thing. So I decided, as I looked at my wife, man, she has a bunch of girlfriends. It seems like the women I know, they have a lot of peers that they hang out with, it seems. And my wife, with some of her besties, will go to a local coffee shop or to a local whatever, and they will sit down and talk for hours. They will talk for hours, just over a cup of coffee or a bowl of soup or a cup of water, and it's marathon sessions. And she's really done a great job of, she has a hobby too. She's into pickleball, and she's into pickleball like I'm into firearms, and it's many times a week she's playing with this group of ladies, and she's in women's ministry at the church and teaching Bible studies and discipleship and all these things, and she's interacting with people. And so now that I've retired from the school district and have gotten into sales, my schedule has kind of changed so that I have some flexible time. I can take a half a day off, or I could meet someone for lunch or meet someone for breakfast or whatever, whether it's a friend or a client or whoever. So I have that ability to do that now. So when I play this back, I might not be able to use this footage because of the noise. So we'll see, and I'm just going to keep on talking. So maybe a year and a half ago, I started thinking, you know what? I don't really have fellowship with other men. I have a brother that lives nearby. He's it. My brother Guy. That's my fellowship. And he still is. He's my best friend and confidant. So I started thinking, I wonder if some guys would come out to shoot with me. So I started inviting guys from church and life group and people I just know, or clients or whatever. And man, it has been fantastic. It really has gotten me such rich relationships and fellowship with other men. Because, there's some things that, first, men aren't going to sit and talk for hours looking at each other over a cup of coffee. You need to be camping, looking at a fire, or sitting or looking at a fire in your backyard, or working on a car. Somebody's got their hood open, and often there's a bunch of men from the neighborhood just watching him work and talking. Fishing, boating, all those things, we like to be doing something, and then we'll talk. So I found that I started inviting guys I knew, and then guys I knew but kind of in a surface kind of thing, not very deep. These weren't guys that I would get together and talk with or have a conversation over the phone even, because we're not talking on the phone either. Now, of course, when we were wooing our spouses, often, we're talking forever and a day. But So I started inviting guys out here, and it transformed into these deep conversations about life and career and the unbelievable responsibility of providing for your family, leading your family, finances, our spiritual walk with the Lord, all these things we're talking about. And it's been a great way, and a lot of these guys I'm inviting, and they're just getting into firearms by me inviting them, and I'm inviting people into this hobby and building relationships with them. So it's been so incredible. I literally have had more than several times I would invite someone to come shoot at this range, and we'd have fun, and maybe they don't have a gun or ammo. I'll have it, and we'll shoot and have a blast. We'll do drills, and just the fun we're having is just fantastic. But really, even if we're here for 2 hours, very often we're shooting. The actual shooting part is 15 minutes, maybe. The rest of the time, we're talking about life. We're talking about career. We're talking about our marriages. Talking about our fatherhood. Talking about grandfatherhood, which is pretty awesome. Little shout out to my little 2-year-old grandson. And then I've had it where we'll come out, I'll be all set up, and I really like to, I'll get here early, paint the steel, get this pistol base set up, lay out the firearms. We're going to start with shooting. If they are new to guns, we'll have a little tutorial and learn the manual of arms of the different pistols. Start shooting with paper, move to steel, move to the smaller steel, move to the smallest steel. So much fun. But I have some guys, we'll come out and I'll set up, and I'll be daggum if we don't talk the whole time and hadn't shot one bullet. Not a one bullet. And then here in the last couple of weeks, couple of months really, a lot of these men are returning with their spouses, and I get to coach them up on shooting. I'm a certified firearms instructor, and I did that just because I thought it would be fun to learn the right way to teach someone how to shoot. So that is great training. And then I've been having families come out, like the men will return. Sometimes it's the men with some of their children or one child, and I'll get the children coached up on safety, range rules, and then the manual of arms for the different pistols, handguns, where we're learning how to operate them. They're learning what the different parts are called. They're learning about loading the magazines and trigger press and slide going forward, slide being locked back, what to do when it jams, how to shoot accurately at, we eventually moved to 30 feet, and it's just so much fun to watch these kids, and even adults that have no experience or very, very little. And a lot of times they're only experienced, and they know the nomenclature for what we're doing because of video games and stuff, Call of Duty and all those things that folks play, children and adults. And it's been so rewarding to see the adults and especially the children come, and they're very nervous, very scared, do not know what to expect. And we get them started with a 22 caliber semi-automatic pistol. We're very, very close. We're 3 yards from the paper target. We get used to the manual of arms, how to operate the gun, manipulate the gun, and shoot, and then back up, and then shoot, and then back up. And the goal is to get 30 feet back so we can safely shoot at steel. And it has just been so amazing and so fun. And it's been great to hear the comments from the dads about the great conversations that they're able to have with their children after doing this and them doing this together. It's so fun to watch them, father and child, shooting together and having fun as a family. I've had, the husband, the wife, and the kids come out. And I've done coaching for as young as 9 and as old as 79. And it is so much fun. This has really gotten me out of my little cocoon that I'm prone to stay in, even though people might think, I'm an extrovert. It seems like most extroverts I know are really introverts, and they have learned how to become and act as if they are extroverts. A lot of that is just by asking good questions and being a good listener. But having this gun club to bring people out to 2-3 times a week, once in a while I'll have 4 a week, has just been one of the best things I've ever done for myself as a man. Having this fellowship with other men, watching them get closer with their spouses and their children, it has just been the best thing. So I don't know what you have near you. I know some people have, some acreage out in the country, and they set up, targets and do that kind of thing. But it really is wide open on your options. And it could be for you, it's not firearms. It's something else. It's like whatever your hobby is. It's unbelievable how you can find, if you're intentional, you'll find other people that are either into your hobby or would be interested if you brought it up. So a lot of the people that end up coming out here to shoot, family, friends, my children, my spouse, whoever, for a lot of them, they've never even considered it. They don't have a gun in the house. What the heck? And then I try to have a variety of handguns, because it's if you decide to bite the bullet and purchase a handgun for yourself, and it might be just for sport. It might be because it would be fun to have. It could be you just want a 22 to get started with, or it could be you want to be more intentional about your safety, and you're doing all these other things. You're being situationally aware of what's going on as you exit a building or enter a parking lot or get out of your car at your house, or get out of your car or enter the car at your house or business. And maybe you have pepper spray, but you want something else because you want to defend your home, defend your family, defend yourself. So firearms are definitely not for everyone, especially if you're uncomfortable about using them for self-defense. But it really is true that it's, people say this all the time, it's better to need it. No, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. And so say you want to purchase your first gun. I have a video coming out, and that'll be talking about that, at least from my perspective as a 59-year-old out shopping for his first gun. So a little secret, and this is what I'll share more about in the next video about actually purchasing your first firearm. If it's going to be the first handgun, it's just remember that that's your first handgun. That it doesn't have to be a handgun, a firearm that accomplishes all of these things: home protection, personal protection, fun at the gun range. So check out that video when you can. But whether you're joining an outdoor gun club, Typically I will get here right at dawn, and it's just so beautiful out here. It's really nice now. We're about to enter September, and it's much cooler here in South Carolina. But to come out here, and often I'm the first one here, or almost the first one here, because we have several pistol bays like this that you can choose, and this is my favorite. But it's also cooler. So I've been having so much fun with this, the fellowship I'm having with other men, and then come to find out now I'm helping them and their families. And one of the things I've started doing recently is when a minor child comes, I'm taking video and photos, and then I will give the silhouette target to the student to save as a souvenir. And then I'll get photos printed out and send them a card just encouraging them and telling them how proud I am of them. And then I'll have some photos to put up in their bedroom or whatever. I do the same thing with the parents. But I really want this, whether it's you're an adult or a student, that's the sound of freedom. Love that sound. That if you can master being able to focus while you're staying safe and having a good time, and you're able to hit what you aim at, and you see that you can learn new things that weren't even on your radar screen to learn, I think that translates into everything in life. So I really like it when these men I'm fellowshipping with bring their children, just to see their quick growth even after an hour of instruction is amazing and stunning. Well, I hope you got something out of this. So if you don't even want to go into firearms, or you don't even have the ability to join a outdoor club, I started inviting people to things at the indoor gun range. It's more difficult while you're in the indoor gun range to have a kind of conversation, but it's doable. But it's the whole thing of connecting with people. And again, if you have a different hobby, then go all in on that. Find people, introduce them to your hobby, connect with other people that are into the same thing, and bring new folks in. It's a great time of fellowship, whether you're a man, woman, or child. This is Danny Delagan with Bowtie Syndicate. See you next time.